let's go.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh and they so mad, it's like
good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
yeah, hey, look what I got. New whip with no top. Cooking up no stove top. Ice cold, no snow drop. Big budget ass, big facts. Big money in the contract. Been running no contact. New record with the new tracks. Yeah, they been sending me new plaques. I don't really need new plaques. Nah, big rock with the suplex. Yeah, new rock got a new flex. Yeah, I'm current, I'm a new trend. Now boys with the full scent. Yeah, like I said, no new friends. We don't really need new friends.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
All you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Rilla mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in Rilla mode. I said stay woke, Rilla mode. Stay woke, Rilla mode. I said stay woke, Rilla mode. Stay woke, Rilla mode. Yeah, hey, well, we can hold the peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Rilla gang, that's a true name. We all graduated to the 2-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest in. I'm tired of niggas, they frontin' they blessings. They want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got 2. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with king, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Rilla mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in Rilla mode. I said stay woke, Rilla mode. Stay woke, Rilla mode. I said stay woke, Rilla mode. Stay woke, Rilla mode. Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transfer to a new account. You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a running crown.
You are the king of apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empires fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons.
He's heating up!
Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Rilla mode, but y'all sheep.
Mr. Strickland.
Look, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in Rilla mode. I said stay woke, Rilla mode. Stay woke, Rilla mode. I said stay woke, Rilla mode. Stay woke, Rilla mode.
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
It ends today.
The Swole, Normus.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing. Testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3166 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in Zach realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, Beaches, Booshes, Bustas, Hustlers, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you beesh.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All right, fam, welcome to the show. Welcome to 3166. It is Sunday, January the Cinco, and we got an Ask Papa Swolio live going down right now. So welcome everyone that is watching on Rumble, YouTube, Instagram. Thank you for being here. You could drop your questions in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We're just taking questions today, whatever topics you want to cover. Going to go over a few things that are pending right now. Today, we have the last day of our buy one, get one 50% off specials over there at papaswolio.com. So if you want to pick up some merch today, I am rocking the Big Bicep Theory. You can check out all the new designs. Of course, tomorrow is our Accountability Monday, where we will have new releases. We will have some new merch, and it's going to be very exciting. So tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time for the Daily Swole podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Rumble, The Daily Swole, YouTube at Swolenormous, and of course, you can follow over at Spotify or Apple Podcasts, The Daily Swole Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, leave a 5-star review, all that good stuff. And make sure you check out the brand new Swolenormous app. Join the fam today over there at swolenormousx.com. Got some membership specials also for Fuck Your Resolution season. We're just taking questions today, so drop it in the comments. Whatever topics you want to discuss, anything that is pending. Yesterday, we had a good episode. We talked a little bit about some of the stuff going on in 2025. We talked a little bit about some of the current events, news, stuff like that that's been pending. A little conspiracy theory action. Not really. It's just kind of fact. It hasn't really played out yet, but a lot of stuff going on. So welcome, everyone. Welcome. That nerd Dylan. Let's get started with some really important topics on Instagram. Why is my wee small? Oh no.
Because
Dylan's got a small peepee. If Dylan goes to the fucking gym, it will get bigger, and everyone knows that.
Wow.
Going to the fucking gym and eating steak will increase your peepee size. So if you take one thing from the 3,166 episodes of the podcast, take that. take that and understand that you will increase not just your length, but even more importantly, the girth. It's not really so much the length that provides satisfaction. It is the girth and, of course, blood flow. So as you get, more veins and more vasodilation, you will get more of a ribbed effect. So make sure you go to the fucking gym, eat some steak, and thicken up, fam. Thicken up. All right. So let's see. One thing that's going on is it's getting fucking cold. So I don't know what you all are dealing with, but in Florida, it's getting freezing. I know we have like this polar vortex thing going on. And today, man, we are lighting up our nips in Florida. It's 73 degrees. 73. Oh, my nips. Oh, my nips. Actually, it's sunny and it's fucking beautiful. So while everyone else freezes over the next week or so, we're going to be sitting in nice mid 60s, nice and sunny, low humidity. So yeah, deal with that. That's why I live here, because it's awesome. I want my nips to be free. I want to hang dong 365 days a year. The great Dr. Delta on Rumble, Papa Swole, can we talk about the chemicals in the water that's turning the freaking frogs gay? Oh, we can talk about that. We can discuss
like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs
I don't
gay.
like them putting chemicals in the water. Turning the freaking frogs gay. If you're just watching on Instagram, you're missing out on some of the soundboards. So you can go and follow on the other podcast channels. Who did I vote for? I voted for Daddy Trump. I voted for freedom. Let's get America for everyone that has some logic and common sense nowadays. Hell yeah, man. You think I voted for communism? You think I voted for Camel Toe Harris? Are you kidding me? You follow this page and you think I voted for that femchode? Get out of here. Annie says it's warmed up here, but mostly it rains here this time of year. That's a good question. Jacked Santa 76.7. Are the iguanas falling out of the trees? Not right now. Not that I've noticed. In these kinds of cold spells, you will get the iguanas. Their body temperature drops and their heart rate drops tremendously. And sometimes you will see them on the ground or they will fall out of trees. But I haven't seen any falling out of trees yet. It's not that cold yet. Jeremy says, Papa, I did listen to that Sean Ryan podcast on Spotify. Wow, big stuff. Crazy, right? And there has been some more stuff that came out from that. Apparently, a lot of other large podcasts have had those emails and had that same guy reach out. So we'll see how that unfolds. Super sketchy. There's definitely a lot there. Definitely a lot there. Ooh, thank you. Detel of Deuce. Mate, you're looking damn sexy today. You putting in all the work lately. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, puppy.
Thank you. Geedy on Instagram. Are those red lenses, do they really work? These are blue blocking glasses. These are just an aviator style frame and they do work. Everything looks nice orange. I have a lot of screens facing me and I do the podcast every day. So I'd like to not get blasted. And it's not like if I'm looking at the screens, my eyes are hurting and I'm so burnt out. But once you use blue blocking glasses, all of a sudden, if I pull them down, it's uncomfortable. So you realize the contrast. It's similar to the elimination diet. You don't realize how poisonous light pollution is. You don't realize how poisonous the food is until you start removing a lot of those toxins from your environment. G.I. Jew reporting to the draft. Hello, Jorge. Welcome, dude. Haven't seen you in a while here. Welcome back. Matt Garmond. Papa Swole, best food to build muscle. There's no best food, but you definitely want to make sure you're getting enough protein. And it's really more about, I would say, what you're eliminating, but the quality always matters. So I like steak, eggs, and dairy. Grass-fed beef, pastured eggs, raw dairy. You can order these things online. You can go to realmilk.com and find farmers markets and places that sell raw dairy. You can order it online as well. But grass-fed beef is becoming more and more popular. Shocker. It's popular for food to eat well. You want to eat healthy animals. Mark on Rumble. Papa Swole, do you know if there's any blue blocking screens for laptops? Been trying to find one. Screens for laptops. What I will say is that I use Apple. So what I have is It's called Iris. I would look into an app. I have an app called Iris, and I could turn my screens red. So you can actually block the blue light without having a screen. You can just get an app that adjusts it so you can block out all the blue light. So check that out. I'm sure they have covers and things you can put on it, but if you have an iMac or something, I'm sure they have the same thing for. What else do people use? Windows? Is that still a thing? People use Windows? I haven't used a PC in a while. Dude, is that a wig you rockin'? I guess that's a compliment. When someone thinks that you're wearing a wig. No, it's not a wig. It's my dome piece. Oscar Anderson. Yo, Papa, you made me go to the gym. Damn right I did. Damn right I did. My favorite bodybuilder. Some of the GOATs. Tom Platz. Tom Platz is goated. Tom Platz. Let's see, Mike Menser. Awesome. The classics. A wig. I know. Derek on YouTube. Papa Swole, do you do cardio?
Because
you have to ask Mama Swolio. I do sauna, and I jack that shit up. You get cardio mimicking benefits in the sauna. I haven't done my VersaClimber in a while, but I think cardiovascular training is great. Going for walks. I'm not a big fan of long distance cardio, but if you're doing sprints, if you're doing interval training, that's what I would recommend. But it's not the same thing doing the sauna as cardio, but it's very similar in terms of your cardiorespiratory response. So in my experience, doing the sauna, and this means, I'm not talking about infrared. I have a steam sauna with the rocks and everything. Getting it above 175 and doing 20 to 25 minutes. It's a great way to get those cardio mimicking benefits without the fatigue, in the sense that if I'm trying to get my heart rate up there and I'm doing intense cardio, muscular output, that's going to be much more taxing than sitting there, even though you're sweating, my heart rate's up and all that. If you have an Oura ring or a Whoop strap and you check this stuff out in the sauna, you'll see you have sustained cardio output, just like an actual cardiovascular training session. Anna Irina, Papa Swolio, send me some motivation for those that can't go to the fucking gym, but we can at home. The gym is wherever you train. I don't really care about your excuses. No one does. Go to the fucking gym and get it done. Let's get a round of applause for that.
Hadouken! Hadouken!
Thank you, Terry. Smash that like button. One of the few live streams where you get a lot of engagement. The Daily Swole is here to make sure you go into the fucking gym every day and getting amped. If you're watching on Instagram and you're not subscribed to the Daily Swole podcast, it's a live show. We usually turn on Instagram for weekend episodes and during the week for Q&As, but make sure you catch the full episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can subscribe everywhere and anywhere. And again, check out the links in my bio on Instagram, swolenormousx.com/links. And that's where you'll find the podcast links, merch, memberships, app information, 7 pillars, getting on the email list and all that good stuff. Hog Wild on Roomblay. Let's do this. Papa Swolio, why do you think the maximum swole / Mensner approach to building muscle gets less traction than the Fitfluencer Fitness Magazine 3 by 8 to 12? Gets less traction? I don't think it does. On TikTok, it's very popular. And of course, it's been popular for 50 years plus. It's just a different style of training. I don't know. I don't think it necessarily gets less traction. I think people don't truly understand. And this is the thing with quote unquote science-based training. There's a lot of people that get pigeonholed with a certain style of training. It's very hard psychologically. A lot of you that used to do more volume, that started doing maximum swole inside Swole Enormous X. It's a hard shift for the ego when you're used to doing more. The human mind is used to doing more. More is better. More this, more that, more reps, more sets. If I want to get bigger muscles, I should do 2 more sets or more often or do 3 exercises instead of 2, do 4 sets instead of 2. So I think it's just the human mind that associates more with better. I don't think it necessarily gets more traction. I think a lot of people are used to doing 3 exercises, 3 sets each, doing a chest and triceps day or a back and biceps day, and they get stuck in their paradigm and they don't really track enough to realize that they're not making progress. To restate it, most people don't realize how plateaued they are. Most people don't track as intensely as they should. And if you think about this, if you're not tracking strength progress, if you're not progressively overloading either every session or every other session consistently, if you're not seeing progressive overload and you're not tracking that specifically, you're going into the gym to get a pump, you're just going based on how you feel every day and you're plateaued more than you realize. And it's very hard to assess muscle growth otherwise, aside from your performance. It's not accurate to step on those scales that tell you your body fat percentage. It's not accurate to do your own body caliper measurements. It's hard to find someone with the right tools and the right expertise to accurately do a body fat measurement. Underwater weighing or DEXA scans can get expensive and they're not as accessible to everyone. So it's hard to really gauge this based on looking in the mirror because mirrors lie, lighting lies. So if you're objectively looking at your performance, you're seeing that your weight's going up in terms of what you're lifting, or your reps are going up, either or. If you're seeing that, you know you're building strength and you're building muscle. And then you can actually get some better feedback. So when you're focusing on progressive overload specifically, and you realize that's the determining factor for building muscle, it makes a lot of the other metrics less important. You don't have to, it's not about how sore you get. It's not about your temporary pump. It's not about seeing veins in a given workout. It's about seeing that analytical, objective progress. So when you see those reps go from 6 to 7, you're progressively overloading. When you see 100 pounds turn into 120, you're progressively overloading. So if volume was the answer, then that would mean 40 sets are better than 30. If volume was the answer, I would be saying we would be talking about 3-hour gym workouts. It would be, well, I'm doing 10 sets. If I want to make more gains, I got to do 12. If I want to make more gains, I'm doing 12. I got to do 15 sets. So if volume was a determining factor, people would be training for 8 hours a day. But that's not the determining factor. When you realize it's the progressive overload, it changes the whole paradigm. It becomes more of a fatigue management. It becomes more of a recovery-based programming, like we always talk about. And that's all that matters. So it actually reverses. Don't do 3 sets when you can get the same results with 2. By doing 3, it doesn't mean that you're going to kill your gains and you're going to ruin everything. But if you're doing 3 sets, you're increasing the fatigue by 50%. It's not necessary. So what we're trying to do here in the Swole fam is focus on the actual quantitative results, not how you feel. And again, that's a mindfuck because if you're used to doing more, it feels like you're not doing enough. But of course, you're training at a higher intensity and you're training with intent. This is what I talk about with programming. It comes down to the intent behind what you're doing. You need to focus on the intent. Most people train to feel a certain way in the short term. They do a CrossFit class or a group exercise class, or they go to the gym for a couple hours and they just want to feel, oh, I got a pump. Oh, I'm sweating. Oh, I feel wiped out. Man, I crushed it. Okay. Does it matter if you're making progress? What's your goal? If you want to make progress, then do the things required to make progress. It doesn't matter how you feel. We always talk about, I don't feel like training today. Well, there's a big difference. Are you not recovering properly? Does your programming suck? If your programming sucks, that's one thing. If you're just getting in your head and it's a little bit cold outside or it's snowing and, oh, you didn't sleep great last night. Okay, maybe you need to work on other things in your life. But it's not about how you feel in the moment. It's not about the pump. Pump doesn't matter. A lot of times people feel like they look bigger, but they're swollen. They have edema. They have blood trapped in the muscles. They have swelling and inflammation. But if your weights are not going up, if your reps are not going up, then you're not creating the proper stimulus or you're doing a lot of junk volume and just beating a dead horse. So I appreciate the question. I don't think you're wrong. I think it's out there. But I do agree it's not out there as much as the other higher volume. 3 sets, 8 to 12. It's such a mid-range number, and that might work for a lot of people. This is why Swole season is more of an beginner intermediate bulking program, because if you're not pushing super hard close to failure, you're going to need more sets because you're not getting as many stimulating reps. If you're only doing 1 or 2 sets for a body part, you really need to know what you're doing. You need to be able to overload properly because those are your stimulating sets. And if you're not training close to failure, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be growing. You're not going to be building muscle. So it just it's more advanced because it puts more pressure on the results. Terry says, set volume goals are nice and all, but if you don't have intensity and recovery, volume is just junk. That's right. So it takes about 4 sets to equate the stimulus from the first set. I'm going to say it again. It takes about 4 additional sets to match the stimulus from the first set. It takes about 4 additional sets to match the stimulus from that first all-out set. That's mind-blowing. That's mind-blowing. You have to do 4 additional sets. Now, this doesn't mean that 1 is all you need, but it means that doing 5 sets is going to be a lot more fatigue than the result. Every set you do adds to fatigue. Central nervous system fatigue, local fatigue. So what you're trying to do is maximize stimulus, minimize fatigue. This is why 1 or 2 sets for a body part in a workout. When I say in a workout, I'm not saying 1 set. Mike Menser used to do 1 set and then 3 weeks later. I don't think that's enough. But 1 set in a workout is enough. And then if you're doing it again in the same week, that's 2 sets in a week. It's better to do 1 set twice a week than 2 sets once a week. You could do 2 sets twice a week. It's double the volume. And depending on how you do it, what exercise you choose, you can probably recover from that, but everyone's going to be different. Rebel, Papa Swole, do you remember me? This is so nostalgic. I'm one of your day ones from Periscope. Ooh, welcome. Where have you been? Where have you been the last 3,000 episodes? Welcome. I used to stream on Periscope when that was a thing. That was 2016, 2017. How are you not a member of the Swole fam already? Does that go against the idea of low volume, high frequency? Low volume is great. This is what I talk about, but I don't think, again, when we talk about progressive overload, this is where I need to define things. So in my opinion and my experience, since I've shifted my focus and I've been doing this for a while, doing 2 sets twice a week is not low volume. I don't think that's low volume. I think that's the right volume. If anything, I think that's moderate volume. I don't think it's high. I definitely don't think it's low. By the standards of doing 12 sets for chest in a workout, that sounds extremely low, but it's not. If you're training within a rep or 2 of failure, up into including failure, that's a lot. It's a lot. So for me, doing 1 set would be low volume in a workout. And again, when I say 1 set in a workout, I'm still doing that twice a week. I like to hit body parts twice in a week, around twice in a 7-day period, whether it's upper lower rest, rest, or upper rest, lower rest every other day. I like upper lower in general. Sometimes I'll throw in a full body depending. But I don't think that's low volume. By the classic paradigm of doing 3 exercises, 3 sets each, 10 to 12, sure, you're doing 9 or 12 sets versus 1 or 2. It sounds low, but I think that's too much. You're doing all these sets, but you're just getting transient hypertrophy. You're flushing blood into the muscle. You're getting a pump. You might get sore, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. Soreness is not required for progressive overload, and soreness is not required. Getting more sore might let you know short term. Yesterday, oh, I did chest yesterday. I'm so sore. Okay, you caused fatigue. Maybe you did new exercise, so the mechanical tension, the damage a little bit different, or you stretch the muscles a little bit more. Okay. But soreness doesn't mean muscle growth. Soreness is an interesting proxy because if I train chest today, I'm going to do upper body today. If I do upper body today and tomorrow my chest feels sore, that's not a bad thing either. So you have to understand, I'm not saying soreness is bad. Soreness is just a proxy. So tomorrow, if I feel a little bit sore in my chest, I'm actually glad. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I trained my chest. I might be a little bit sore. But if I'm crippled sore, maybe I chose a new exercise, I did too much volume, or this, that, and the other, it's going to be a concern for how quickly I can recover for the next chest session. So if I do a new exercise, I'm not going to push it as close to failure. I might leave a rep or two in the tank because it's a novel exercise. It's going to cause more damage and I might be more sore in the short term. But then after like a week or two of adding a new exercise in, I'm not going to feel as sore. I might know that I trained and feel a little bit kind of stiff or deep ache, but I'm not going to be sore to the touch. It's going to take too long to recover, and the frequency is important. All right, live questions. Drop in the comments down below wherever you're watching, live on Rumble, YouTube, and Shinstagram. Saeed, whatever your name is, am I gay? If you're asking a question, if you're asking me if you're gay, you're probably gay. You're probably gay. It's a very gay question, so yes, the answer is yes. Anarina, what's your opinion on consuming creatine? Creatine is fantastic. I took some this morning. 5 grams every day. 5 to 10 grams every day for me. Okie dokie. Let's see. Hog Wild, the biggest mindfuck of maximum swole is not hitting a muscle from multiple angles and getting results. Well, these multiple angles don't matter in a lot of cases. And the difference is you don't need to do everything in one session. This is a big thing when it comes to training. So the back is a big area. The quads or the legs, big area. But you don't need to hit every different angle every time. So if you're trying to hit the rectus femoris for the quads, leg extensions, you want to make sure that one of the angles, because it's a 2-joint muscle, the rectus femoris, it crosses the hip and the knee. The other quad muscles don't. You want to make sure you're locking out the hip. That way the rectus femoris can act. If you're doing a squat, it's not as active. But you don't have to do squats and leg extensions in the same session. If you're training legs twice a week, you could do pendulum squats, hack squats, barbell squats, whatever on one day. And then 2 or 3 days later, you could do leg extensions. You don't have to do them on the same day. So if you're trying to do your back, you might know, okay, there's upper back. There's maybe like a T-bar row where your elbows are more flared to hit more of the upper back musculature. Then you have a frontal plane pull down, like a wide pull down or a pull up. Then you have a lat focus row where the elbow's tucked. So that's essentially 3 different types. Of course, you get the spinal erectors with a hip hinge. Okay, fine. So let's just say there's 3 or 4 different ways. You don't have to do them every session. You could do one session when you're doing upper body and do T-bar rows. The next session you could do lat rows. You don't have to do elbow tucked in and then a frontal plane pull. You don't have to do them both in the same session. You can do them over the course of a week and a half, 2 weeks, and just alternate 1, 2, 3. Back exercise 1, back exercise 2. You could do wide pull downs one day and then lat focus rows the other day. You're going to be fine as long as you're consistent. If you don't train a body part or an angle for a few weeks or a month, it's a novel exercise again. But if you're training it over the course of 10, 14 days, you're fine. Because you're still hitting it. If you're doing T-bar rows, you're still getting some of your lats. The lats are working and they're moving. They're just not, it's not the same angle and it's not as targeted. And again, it depends on what you're trying to work on. Some people want to work specifically more on width of their back or thickness. If you have a specific thing you need to focus more on that. Prioritize that. You don't have to train every body part. If you have an overdeveloped body part, then you don't have to train it. Or don't bias it or train it later on the workout where you're a little bit more fatigued and you're not trying to maximize stimulus. You're trying to create more balance. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Your hair and beard looks awesome. Today's a good hair and beard day, apparently. Everyone's talking about my hair and beard. Respect. Rebel Papa Swole, can too much volume in one day lead to detrimental effects or just diminishing results? Well, what's the difference? Diminishing results is a detrimental effect. And absolutely, more volume is going to cause more fatigue. It's going to take you longer to recover. So if you do 6 sets instead of 2 on Monday and then you're hitting it again on Thursday or Friday, you might start to see your numbers not increase because you didn't recover from that previous session. And that fatigue and that overall central nervous system fatigue can lead into other body parts and bleed into other workouts. So if you're doing an upper lower split, Monday upper, Tuesday lower, your lower body session is going to be negatively affected objectively by training hard on Monday. It doesn't mean you're not going to hit a PR. It doesn't mean you're not going to have a good workout. But if you train 2 days in a row, you're more fatigued on Tuesday than you are on Monday. So you might want to put a day in between. If you had a really hard workout on Monday and you feel a little wiped out, again, this comes down to your programming. So maybe you did too much volume on Monday and you felt a little drained on Tuesday. So back up on the volume on Monday, or take Tuesday off, do yoga or something, and then train lower body on Wednesday. So you have different options. Everyone's different and your schedule's different. So it depends on when you're able to make it to the gym and what you like to do. And also comes down to the exercise selection. There are choices for exercises that you can make to minimize fatigue. Certain exercises are going to be more fatiguing than others. If you're training muscles in more of a stretch position, if you're doing barbell back squat, these are just more systemically overloading and fatiguing exercises. So a hack squat is going to be more fatiguing than a leg extension. So if you feel a little bit drained, maybe you're doing too many compound movements. So you should do leg extensions for that workout. There's different ways to approach it. And this can be very individual. If you find a certain exercise is more exhausting, then maybe use it more sparingly, or don't do 2 sets, do 1, or do it every other workout, or every other leg day, or every other upper body day. I agree, Cerny. These people need to get the app. Make sure, look, click the link in my bio, go in the App Store, Google Play, go to swolenormousx.com, learn about the Swolenormous app, join the Swole fam, get access to all the programs and masterclasses. We launched like 3 new masterclasses last Monday. So we have a lot of education in there, and we're always adding new stuff. We have the community, we have the Telegram chat, journaling in the app. You can track your progress in the calendar and your journal feature, 7 Pillars Journal. All right, Anna Irina, I've blown it up on Instagram. Papa Swole, do you recommend routines for each muscle group each day, or can I do full body? I generally recommend upper, lower, or full body. Those are really great for all levels of experience, natural lifters, even enhanced. But Jeremy on Rumble, Papa, did you see Biden hand out Medal of Freedom awards to Soros and Hillary? Yeah, I did.
Come on, man.
I posted about this on X. I didn't realize that they handed out medals of freedom to people like flyers in Vegas. That was my tweet. They're just passing that shit out to anyone. Hillary Clinton, a Medal of Freedom, that criminal. Jesus. George Soros, the epitome of evil. Yeah, a Medal of Freedom. We're just giving these things out. Giving these things out like candy. Just take a medal. Take a Medal of Freedom. Take a Medal of Freedom. 15 more days. 15 more days until we can clean this shit out. I can't wait. Just 15 more days. Just 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 more weeks. My girlfriend tore her ACL so she can't walk. Should she work out? Maybe chair yoga. Might want to get surgery on that or check that out. Joshua, at least an hour or 2 a day for cardio. If you're struggling with leftover fat, absolutely not. That's insane. Cardio is not something you should be focusing on if you want fat loss. Building muscle and getting your nutrition in order. Cardio is not required for fat loss. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not required for fat loss. Derek, thoughts on XRP? Will it make us millionaires? No. Don't fuck with shit coins. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is truth. Learn more about Bitcoin, stack sats, stay humble, and don't dabble in shit coins. Don't fuck with Ripple or X. Don't mess with that. Danny at Papa Swole, have you ever had a pinched nerve? If yes, what do you do? Well, first, a lot of people think that they have a pinched nerve when it's just a tiny muscle that's pulled. Do you have radiating pain all the way down your leg or to your arm? A lot of times it's not a pinched nerve. It's just a small muscle that really hurts. There's so many tiny muscles in the body, over 600, that if you have a strained muscle, that's a stabilizer in the spine. You could barely move. You're all stiff, but it's not a nerve. It's just a muscle. Unless you got diagnosed specifically with an MRI or something like that. Cardio for warm-ups is probably the most overrated thing, especially for lifting. You're just exhausting yourself before lifting. I'm not saying you can't go for a walk or get on the treadmill for 5 minutes. But remember, preparation for your training session means preparation. You don't want to tire yourself out before your all-out set. So you really just need your specific warm-up, maybe a little loosening of the upper body, but you really just need your preparation sets. And if you're practicing yoga and mobility overall, and you're balancing out your training, you should be fine with just preparing for your first lift. You don't want to exhaust yourself before trying to do a 6 or 7 rep max, for example. People that go on the treadmill or elliptical machine for 30 minutes and they're dripping in sweat, they're wiping themselves out, they're exhausting themselves before they even start lifting. Rebel, thanks. Congratulations on your success. You have come such a long way since 2016, 2017, when it was just a dozen of us. I still have your unlisted playlist from Sonormous Premium. Oof, I don't even know where that is. Enjoy. Enjoy while it lasts. It might not be there for, I don't even know where it is, but it's unlisted for a reason. Good for you. Is it still good? That's old school. There's so many old videos floating around out there. Hog Wild says the hardest part of lengthy cardio is telling your dad you like getting pegged.
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
I better use my strong hand.
Better use my strong hand. Let's take a call. I don't think we took this one yesterday. We got a call from Stewie. If you're on Instagram, check it out on YouTube and Rumble or the audio podcast for catching this phone call. You're not going to hear the audio. Stewie, you're on the line.
Hi. I don't actually have a question, but I want to say thank you, as I've spent 2 years fighting cancer and you have inspired me to get my ass back to the gym, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I'd like to say thank you.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Stewie was saying that was it 2 years battling cancer and I inspired him to get back to the fucking gym. Good for you. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Good for you. Good for you. Get to the fucking gym. It's good for everyone. What a legend. That's a goated call. I love it. Luis Emilio says, wait, no bullying today? It's weird. Oh, well, now that Luis is here, you all can go to the fucking gym. Luis is bringing bullying back. You just aggravated me. What a great call. John on Rumble. I tried cardio a lifetime ago. Holy hell. I got emaciated as fuck. Never, ever again. And like I say, there's nothing wrong with cardiovascular training, but you don't need to run a marathon. You don't need to run 5 or 10 miles for cardio. You can go for a walk. You can do sled. You can do kettlebell. You know, you can do 300 or 200 kettlebell swings and go lightweight and get your heart rate up. That's what it is, heart rate up. There's nothing wrong with it. Do sprints, but you could do interval, and you only need 10, 15 minutes a couple times a week if you want to focus on that. But it's not going to get you leaner. It's going to be your nutrition. It's going to be your overall metabolism and muscle mass, lean mass. You really want to focus on that. That was nice. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
That was nice. Tainty Man is here. Oh, look at his paws twitch. Look at his paws twitching. Aw, Mr. Mustard. Aww. He's sleeping. Maybe he's hunting some beef. Look at those paws, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble. Look at those paws. Look at that dude. Look at those hooks. Look at those dew claws. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Hey, Mustard? Look at him. Look at him. Look at that guy. Sunday, January the 5th. What else we got going on? I've been really enjoying because it's the new year, I've been posting. You've probably seen some of my tweets and stuff. Say, today is 5 days into the new year. This means you've been to the fucking gym 5 times. Yesterday it's 4 days into 2025. That means you've been to the fucking gym 4 times. I might do this the entire year. So tomorrow's going to be 6 days. So today I said, congratulations on going to the fucking gym 5 times already this year. Mm-hmm. People are going to start looking at that. Uh-oh. I haven't been going. But someone said yesterday, someone responded to my tweet. Who was it? Jake said, Papa Swole, what are the consequences for 3 out of 4? And I said, beatings will continue until morale improves. Michelle says, what if you've been to the gym 6 times? Wow. 6 times. Well, we don't give out a overachiever, teacher's pet. The gyms are going to be nice and quiet in a couple of weeks. Don't worry. Everyone's going to fall off. Don't worry. Don't you worry, fam. Don't you worry. Questions, drop them in the comments below. We'll stay for a few more minutes. We got some more questions. Open floor. Reminder, this is a live podcast. We do it every day. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, subscribe to The Daily Swole. You can find it anywhere you like to bang your ear holes. And you can listen to all the previous episodes. We have lots of different topics. You can find them in the titles. Fun show. We cover news and current events and all that kind of stuff. So lots of fun. And we're just kind of gearing up. People are still coming out of their holiday reprieve, and they're all hungover from too much food and alcohol, and who knows, people are still slacking. Slackers. Where's my thing? There we go.
Mr. Strickland!
You're a slacker. Mr. Strickland. Joshua, Papa Swole, natty or not? Me? Or should you be natty or not? I'm natty. For now. I might do TRT in the future. I'm open to it, but I haven't done blood work or figured that kind of stuff out. If I'm still making gains, I'm happy with it. But, I'm getting to that TRT age. I'm excited. Should I start Papa Sauce? Papa Saucio? Should I start getting saucy? People already think I take stuff, so maybe I should start. I'd be transparent, though. I'd tell people if I was. I have nothing to hide. Nothing wrong with TRT. If that's your choice and you want to do it, then do it. I'm not a fan of people that are like 20 years old doing TRT. It's like, take care of your habits first. You don't need that shit when you're that young. Michelle says, I'm being told next week is when the resolutioners start coming. It's a little bit too early for that. People always joke and troll that January 1st, all the gyms are going to be overrun. No. People that make bullshit New Year's resolutions usually take an extra week off. That's why they're not serious. They're not serious people. They just say things. So they're still using this as an excuse. Oh, I'm just getting back together. Well, the 5th, and then Monday. Okay, I'll start on Monday the 6th. So tomorrow they'll start on January 6th. Blah, 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 blah. Martinez. People are starting to react like, shit, you've been going to the fucking gym. I can tell, just like some of your videos. It's great. Good for you. That's one of the best things when you see someone that you haven't seen in a while. And they're like, man, you're looking good. You've been going to the fucking gym. Damn straight I am. Damn straight. It's paying off. You notice. Thanks for watching the videos. Appreciate you. Honda on Instagram says, I don't even make resolutions because it's just an excuse to fall off later. Since I started Swolenormous from October to March, it's fuck your resolution season. I always say this because people don't talk about their resolutions in June. You never hear anyone in August or September, my New Year's resolutions. Nope. They attach it to a day with the reasoning because then they can make excuses and not address it. Once people stop saying, think about when people stop saying Happy New Year. When do people stop saying Happy New Year? February sometime usually. If they haven't seen you for a while and it's January 3rd, 28th, like, oh, Happy New Year. It's kind of getting a little bit weird. That's the same way people psychologically are with resolutions. They say they're going to do it because everyone's talking about it. It's January 1st. Oh, a fresh start. People always talk about a fresh start. It's like an ego thing. They still keep the same damn habits. They don't change anything and they act like things are going to change. We're going to be here. I'm going to be here on January 5th, 2026. What episode would that be? 3,400, whatever. Or 520, whatever the heck, another year. And I'm going to be talking about resolutions again. And most of the people, just saying, most of the people watching on Instagram and anyone listening, most of the people that haven't changed now are still going to be fat. They're going to be fatter. They're going to be in the same thing. Oh, I've been listening to you for 5 years. Or I remember seeing your podcast, and they're going to be in the same position. Oh, I've seen your videos a long time ago. Imagine if you started today. Imagine if when you first started seeing one of my videos, you actually changed everything. And you could be 5 years into progress. You could be jacked. You could have all the results that you wanted, the things that you're still thinking about doing. Just shut the fuck up and start taking action. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. And this is not to say that if you make a resolution, some people keep a resolution, but that resolution can start January 5th. It can start September 14th. It can start March 9th. It's just today. You don't have to wait. Again, it doesn't matter. The calendar is just so we can have an organized society. It doesn't mean anything. The date on the calendar doesn't mean anything. Today is all that exists. Do you want changes? Cool. Make the change today. Who cares what date it is? Start. I don't remember the first day I started lifting. I didn't wait till January 1st. I'm going to make a change in my life. Stop waiting. Again, it's an excuse to wait. It's convenient in October. Well, I'll start in the new year. So you get 3 months of being a fat, lazy ass. It massages your ego and you feel guilt-free by fucking off for a couple. Oh, I'm going on vacation. I'm doing a couple things and there's Christmas and this, that, and the other. So people feel the excuse to fuck off. And then when January runs around, they haven't changed anything. They think they're going to snap their fingers and change all their habits. They don't realize it's not just one habit. It's 1,000 habits. It's what they're buying. It's what's in their house. It's who they're spending time with. It's all these different things that keep them in the same rut. They haven't changed anything and they'll do it for a week or two and they fall back off because they're still in a shitty environment. Everyone thinks they have more time than they do. Papa Swole, I want to look like you. I want to be like you when I'm in my 40s. Okay. I started lifting when I was like 19, 18. I've been doing this my whole life. I'm not saying you can't look like me. And I'm not saying I haven't tried to build as much muscle. You don't just keep on building endlessly. I'm not going to look like Mr. Olympia just because I've been training for 25 years. You've been training for 25 years. You look like that. I'll get some people like, oh, you're not as big. I'm not juicing out of my mind and I'm not stepping on a bodybuilding stage. I'm not trying to be the biggest person in the world. That's not a noble goal. That's not a good idea. So I didn't start doing this last week. Everyone wants amazing results, but they don't want to put in the effort. Oh man, I want to look like you. How long have you been training for? 25 years. Yeah. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. One of my favorite quotes. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. So if I didn't plant a tree 20 years ago, oh, I should have planted this 20 years ago. I should have done this 20 years ago. Yeah, no shit. Well, guess what? If you plant it today, in 20, you're going to have this. Start now. You keep on waiting and wish, oh, well, I wish I did it then. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I wish I bought Bitcoin when I first heard about it when it was 4,000. Well, you didn't buy it then. It's still fucking cheap. You have like a $20 million asset that's under 100K. It's cheap. People don't take action. Welcome to laziness and welcome to terrible habit patterns. All right, YouTube, Papa. Andres, I'm 41 years old, 176 centimeters tall. I need that in freedom units, brother. Was 86 kilograms, lost 6 kilograms in 2 months after changed my diet and started doing some home calisthenics 6 to 7 days a week. Any advice on nutrition for me? My goal is to lose fat. Sure, everyone's goal is to minimize fat. Minimize fat. You want to build muscle. So if you haven't yet, check out swolenormousx.com, or you can download the Swolenormous app. We got specials going on. We got free trials depending on where you go. Check out our content, the elimination diet. We help you eliminate inflammatory foods, customize your nutrition. I would recommend getting on a strength training program where you can progressively overload, not just calisthenics, and stay consistent. I have a lot of advice. A lot of advice. It's really just as much about what you remove as what you add. There we go. 5'9". Nice. Thank you, Loretta. I appreciate the conversion. MVTTA. Do I have an OnlyFans? I don't, but I have an Only Swole. So you can go to onlyswole.com, onlyswole.com, and you can see all my nudes. No butthole pics, though. All right. Ruben Vore on YouTube. How much protein would you recommend to someone who is starting to work out? Not the same I would recommend most people. It's usually a general good goal to aim for your, 0.8 to a gram per pound of body weight. But that's going to vary, even for individuals. It's really about, again, if you're working out, that's a vague term, right? So if you want to build muscle, you have to be doing the certain things. This is why we're talking earlier in this episode about maximum swole. If you're trying to build muscle, you need to be doing the specific things that are going to, I don't want to say force, but I guess that's the right term, your body to lay more contractile proteins. And to build muscle, you need progressive overload. And then having enough protein is important. Having enough glycogen is important. Having enough calories are important. Sleep is important. Sunlight, all these things are important. Because remember, it's not just eating and training. It's all the other lifestyle habits, managing stress, psychological stress, physical stress, overall fatigue. You're welcome, Esther. Appreciate you. Thank you, Papa, for your daily dedication to this podcast. Aww.
Hi, puppy.
Thank you. All right. Cerny says, please, 40-something-year-olds, quit thinking 40 is too old to get results. Bullshit. I'm old as dirt. She ain't lying. I start at 63 years old. The gains are real if you put in the work. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get America for Cerny.
Boom shakalaka!
Inconceivable!
You could build muscle at any age. So when I say start now, you're going to regret it. I'm not saying you could build muscle at 80. You're not going to be able to build as much muscle at 80 as you can at 20. So there's a difference. Can you build muscle and get stronger at 80? Sure. Should you be waiting to 80 to start? No, you should start today. If you're 60 and you're thinking, oh, I should have started this when I was 20. Well, you didn't. Start today. Oh, I'm 40. I should have started this when I was 20. Yeah, you should have. Start today. Like there's, like anything that's worthwhile doing. Oh, I should have done it earlier. Yeah, probably. But you didn't for whatever reason. You weren't raised like that. You weren't exposed to this information. You didn't get swole pilled. Fine. Now you know. Now start. Proportionate cake to gym. Like booty cake? Like glutes? Kit Kat Natty, 89. You know what? You look exactly like my brother. It's scary. Your brother is a sexy beast, huh? Your brother is a sexy beast.
Hi, puppy.
He's jacked too, huh? Your brother's awesome. It's true. Your brother's hot. All right. Last chance for questions. We're about to wrap up. Thanks for being here. # AskPapaSwolio. For a chance to be featured. And yes, we're still live. We're still live. 3,166 episodes. Wow. That's a lot of...
Wow.
That's a lot of talking about people getting off their lazy asses and going to the fucking gym. That's why I like opening for questions, because I want to help you guys. I know people that listen to the podcast a lot don't have as many questions because they got answered already. But it's always good to listen and reinforce and kind of coats of paint over things you already know. Or it's a reminder. It's like reading a book, a really good book. Certain books you should read every year or every couple years. The book is the same, but you realize you don't gather as much information from a book as you think. So reading it again, oh, I forgot all the good information. I forgot all the good parts. I forgot all this. You're a different person too. So the book hasn't changed, but you're different. So it's a different book. All right, Laguna. Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? No, you're early. I know people don't think you're early when Bitcoin's sitting at under 98K, but you're early. You're early. This is going to be a big year. I think Bitcoin and the market, everything is going to fucking rip, especially after when Trump gets inaugurated. But learn about it. Make sure you learn about cold storage and how to secure your keys. Don't leave your Bitcoin on exchanges. But no, you're not late. You're not late. And of course, this is for 100 million sats. So you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. Very few people have $100,000 liquid to save. It's just the best savings technology ever created, and many more things than that. So you could buy $10 a day. You could buy $50 a week. You could buy $25 a week. You could buy, it's up to you. So a lot of people think, oh, I can't afford it. It's 97. Do you have $10 that you're not spending on a mocha choca fuccacino at Starbucks? Just start shoveling excess cash. And as you learn, you can change your approach to it. But don't think of it as investing. Think of it as saving. You're saving your money. And with the rate of inflation, housing's not a good investment. Housing's terrible. Way too much liability. It doesn't keep up with the cost of inflation. And there's going to be a lot more money printing. We're still in debt. Whether or not Trump's going to executive order a Bitcoin strategic reserve, if he does, it's going to shoot up like crazy. But it's going to come back down. There'll probably be 70 or 80% drawdowns, but it might go to 1 million, then come back down to 200,000. Bitcoin's dead again. It's at 200K. It dropped 80%. It's 60% ARR. It's up 60% on average a year. But again, this is coming down to, and the reason why one of the many reasons why I love Bitcoin, I'm obsessed with it, is because it's a similar type of time preference to fitness. It's low time preference. The trainings you do today compounds over years. You're not going to get results today, but you have a great workout, you hit a PR, cool. You're not just all the results today. It's delayed for the future. So it's changing your perspective. It's having a low time preference, a longer time horizon. And I will say that anything you put into Bitcoin, do that with at least a 5-year time horizon, at least 4 to 5 years. I would say 10 years, ideally. And you'll be very happy. But the more you learn, the more you can make other choices. I'm not telling you, not financial advice, but it is good advice. Aldana, hello, Papa Swole. Greetings from the UK. Oh my goodness, how we doing over there? How we doing on Airstrip 1? We met you in 2017 to 18, and still today's day you are the voice which tells us to go to the fucking gym. Indeed.
He's on fire!
Glad you found me. Glad to have you here too. Papá Swolio, estoy cansado, me voy a dormir. Oh, ¿estás cansado? Ve al puto gimnasio. Don't be a chode. Go to the fucking gym. Let's get a little tainty man. Let's see. Where is he? Oh, he's sleeping. Of course he is. Pinkston Churchill's over here also. All right. Last chance for questions. Thanks for being here. Again, tomorrow's episode is at 12 noon Eastern time. Make sure you subscribe on Rumble. Rumble's the best place to start. I'm not sure if the other day the episode got taken down to YouTube. We got a lot of restrictions. So The Daily Swole on Rumble. And of course, Swolenormous on YouTube. Started streaming there back in the day. Changed to The Daily Swole on YouTube, but back to the main channel, the Swolenormous channel on YouTube if you want to catch the live streams. And we'll pop on Instagram from time to time to take some questions and let you all know that this is a podcast where you can listen to all previous episodes on the podcast app of your choice. Let's see Pinky. Well, she's sleeping. Let me see. I don't like picking her up when she's all curled up. Let's get Pinkston Churchill over here. Let's see. There she is. There she is. She's sleeping. Rumble worked out. Cerny, what brand magnesium glycinate? Not sure how to spell do you guys use. I use bulk supplements. I just buy it on Amazon. Magnesium glycinate is my preferred. I like the powder because I don't want other stearates or other kind of whatever they put in pills sometimes. And by the way, if you have problems with some supplements and you're taking pill form, it could be one of the additives that they add in the pills. Sometimes they have like vegetable glycerin or other things. Not that it's harmful, but there could be something in it that might be irritating you. So I just like the powders because I weigh it out myself. It's cheaper, but of course you got to get a micro scale to weigh it. Alex Gringo, when you cry in Spanish, it's the best in the world. I'm one of the few people I can cry in multiple languages. Dale, Papa, here in Argentina, you are a god. Oh, can I just like come down from the sky in Argentina? Que boludo. Hincha pelota. I got my Argentinian slang. Spanish crying hits different. I know. Ay, Dios mío. You see, it translates perfectly. I am a crybaby. I got to get some more languages. I need to do it in Greek. I need to do it in... Got a couple more languages. I'm going to get back into it. I go through phases where we're going to get some more language videos coming out again soon. Going to go through a kick where we got new language videos. Is that Papa Swole? Yo, goddamn right it is. Is that a wizard staff behind you by the flag? No, it's a club that my stepfather made when he was alive a long time ago. It's awesome. It's awesome. My stepfather was a massive natural bodybuilder back, like he won, was it Mr. Connecticut or Mr. America back in the 50s. He was lifting in the Navy. He used to come to port and he would say all his, because he was in the Navy in World War II. And he was like, because my mom remarried and he was about 15, 18 years older than my mom. And he passed away like 10 years ago. 13 years ago. Anyway, he would say that when they came to port, because back in the 40s, and 50s, there weren't gyms everywhere. In New York City, there might be a health club. There was like a gym, maybe two. They weren't popular. So all his mates would go to the bars. They would go chasing girls and stuff, and he would go to the gym and lift for 6 or 8 hours. I wish he was alive because he told such great stories. I would love to ask him more questions. He told such great stories. Like he would go to these gyms, and this is where you get a lot of the lore and the names of these exercises. So he would talk about these guys because he knew them. He would talk about all these, I forget, I don't want to say names of people that were in the same time frame, but like the Hack Squad, George Hackenschmidt created the Hack Squad, but there was all these different Jefferson curl or the Jefferson squat or Jefferson deadlift where you deadlift behind through your legs. Like he knew some of these guys. I'm just using those titles as like a general, whether or not that was accurate. But there were certain gyms where there was a bar that was bent because this one person would come into the gym and he had a bar that was bent because he bent the bar because he was lifting so much doing certain exercise, and that was his bar, and that's what the exercise was named after. It's super cool. All this stuff comes from somewhere. Back in the day, you would just have dudes that would try lifting different ways, and a lot of them just they disappear and they become weird. Oh, you're doing a press behind the neck, or you're doing a deadlift between your legs. These are just different ways to lift. There's no wrong way as long as you load it properly. There's no wrong way to lift. I shouldn't say that. There's maybe more ideal ways to lift or safer ways in general, but it's really about what you can progressively overload. And if you start with the appropriate load, you can scale it accordingly. Ruben, gotta go, Papa. Thanks for sharing your awesomeness. Love from Costa Rica. Costa Rica. You guys remember Costa Rica? Uh-oh.
Because emotional damage.
Could it be? Those of you that listen to the podcast, you know Costa Rica. Is it possible? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Inside joke, kind of. Inside joke on a public podcast. Good evening, Mr. Swole from Germany. Man, we're pulling in all the peeps. What's up, Germany? Did I start the gym out of pleasure or necessity? Necessity. I needed to make gains. If you want to make gains, you got to go to the fucking gym. Absolutely necessity. I had to make gains. I had to be done. Love from Chile. Heyo. All right, fam. It's been real. Great. The questions have diminished. We nailed it. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Thank you for watching Instagram. Again, subscribe on Swolenormous on YouTube, The Daily Swole on Rumble, and tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time for the accountability stream, new releases. So we'll see you then. Good afternoon from the Congo. Ooh, Congo in the house. So thanks for being here, Instagram. Bleep. Now you're off. Venezuela, represent. Thanks for being here, fam. Good show, good stuff, good questions. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time for 3167. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Go to the fucking gym. We'll see you in the Telegram chat. And let's get after it. Tomorrow, new releases, more sick fucking gains. We'll see you then. Peace, McGee's, Deuce Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint. We go hard in the paint. What the fuck is you saying? What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing?
Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin.